Going on, world? DS1 Ross, and I'm back. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody who support me in this platform, Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Very much appreciated. We back. Episode 9 of Real Spill. Episode 9. I got LOADKAST here with me. I'm gonna give y'all a minute to come through. I'm gonna send my brother the link, and then we will get this show popping. What's good with y'all tonight, though, man? I'm gonna give y'all a minute to come through. If you tuned in, make sure you hit the like button, hit the number 1 in the chat so I know that y'all can hear me. Give me a minute and we will start the show. Shout out to everybody. We will start the show in about the next 10 minutes. Shout out to y'all. Like I said, if you tuned in, make sure you hit the like button, share the show. Hit the number 1 in the chat so I know you here. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Like I said, make sure y'all hit the like button. Hit the number 1 in the chat if you tuned in right now. We'll be starting the show in about the next 10 minutes. We'll get the show on the road. So I'm going to give y'all a couple of more minutes to come through, and then I'm going to hit my brother LOADKAST, and then we're going to get this show on the road. So shout out to y'all. Links is in the description box. If you want to support Sheep Stay Sleep TV, there's ways to support it. We got PayPal, we got the Streamlabs, and we also have CashApp. Also, check out my merch store too. All the links is in the description. All the links is in the description. Shout out to Mike Brown. Shout out to Tony Smith. Shout out to everybody. Give y'all about 3 more minutes. Send my brother the link. What's going on, BK Hammer? Send my man the link right now. Shout out to brother Rob, man. Y'all share the show in y'all community tab, man. Share the show out. This is going to be interesting, man. Remember, if y'all would like to be on the next episode of Real Spill, email me, dsalliance1@gmail.com. That's dsalliance1@gmail.com. Okay. Got my man Lo here. What's going on, Lo?
Hey, brother, what's going on? It's been a minute since we done linked up together, man. Hey, how's everybody in the chat doing? Let me send a shout out to brother Rob, BK Hammer, most definitely Tony Smith. Tony Smith, thanks for joining us. And I also see Mike Brown's in the house. Yay, yay. Go ahead. What's up, DS1?
Hey, what's going on, Lo, man?
Man, I'm chilling, dude. Man.
Man, I appreciate you, joining this episode of Real Spill, man. So we could jump right into it, man.
Yeah, I just don't know where to jump in at because no matter which way you go, the pool is deep. It don't matter which damn direction you go in this motherfucker. Right, you bound to drown.
All right, first we gonna swim in 3 feet, man.
Is there 3 feet worth of water?
Let's just start off with how long you been on YouTube and what was your purpose for coming to YouTube?
Well, my original purpose. Now, my original purpose for coming out to my original reason for joining YouTube was because I was called myself getting into replying to somebody in reference to their videos, and I kept replying to other people later on, and people started reaching out to me, and I managed to find myself with like 100 subs or something. I was like, I didn't even know what that was. So, like, you know what I mean? When I first got it, because I wasn't thinking about those type of things. And eventually I just kind of like got to know other people who were doing creating content, just got to know them. And eventually I found myself in social circles. And over time, I don't know where all this noise is coming from. Okay, let's try that again. All right. And then eventually I just found myself out here in what you now call the manosphere. And I've been kind of like trying to find my way through it and navigate my way through it the best that I could and find as much information as I can about who's doing what and how to do what they're doing. And finally, I just realized that there's no book. You just hop in, do the best you can, and try to make yourself some positive acquaintance like yourself.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. I appreciate that, by the way.
Hey,
So,
no problem.
so, so originally you came on here and you was originally giving your opinion on different topics and stuff like that that you was watching the videos. So who was one of your first content creators of the manosphere that you bumped into?
The first one, okay. It started off like this here. I did a diss I did a diss kind of like a I call it a diss now because it was kind of wrong and it was rude to me to do it. I did a reply to Angry Man on some stuff he was saying in his videos. Now I had been following Angry Man for a little while, but you know, I said some stuff I disagree with now because now I kind of understand the man a lot better. Realize the guy ain't no different. He really ain't no damn different than me. But I made this video in reference to him, and I got a lot of flack from from I guess a lot of fans, from his subscribers. And then later on, you start to realize, well, let me say subscribers that I met. What's that guy name? I was also cool with this. What's the other brother name? Help me out here for a minute. Um, I can't remember his name. Maybe it's for a good reason. Oh, the Bitter Truth. So I was like cool with Bitter Truth, and he introduced me to BGS, and then I realized the dude, I hung out on one of his hangouts one night, and I realized that like pretty much everybody who I was watching, who I liked, they all were like migrate. They were all hanging out in this one social space, and it kind of caused me to like, take a step back and realize that, dude, this is a network of people, you know. And I just kind of started trading lightly and started asking for requests and started meeting up with people. No, not really meeting, but getting to do collabs with people like LAR, Super Sly 75 Facts. Super Sly is like the very first person ever interviewed me. I didn't even know didn't even know what that was about because most of the people who I was always subscribed to was like CNN, um, Al Jazeera, like all the news outlets. This is the only thing I thought of YouTube for, and oh yeah, conspiracy videos, those type of things. That was my cup of tea. And eventually, it just this kind of concept just grew up on me, and I realized that moving fast forward to now, that I needed to find a niche. I needed a way. I realized that if I was going to do content, eventually I need to figure out a way to express myself in a way that people can relate to or can appreciate. So I started taking the time back and started writing. Started actually just making those videos of just me just giving my opinion and showing my perspective, trying to express my perspective on life itself. And it went kind of well, surprisingly. And then some aspects that kind of had a lot of setbacks too, because I was still every now and then making those painful videos that you know about. And I found myself now just maturing a little bit more. I realized, you know what, you can still do that stuff, but kind of marry it into your personality where people can kind of identify with you as being someone who is genuine, which I am genuine. But I just realized, dude, find your own space, find your own niche, and just stick with it, and just work on it and figure out ways to making it grow. And it's been tough because I'm not really, like I said, I'm only familiar with YouTube now for about a good year and a half, and I only got 100, like what 1,200, 1,100 subscribers now. So it is what it is. But I've noticed that everybody who's always followed me has always been like the bigger YouTubers, so to speak. And I also know that I do have quite a few other popular ones who follow me as well. And every now and then they might reference some of my content. Well, hell, let me just be real, G. Quite a few guys reference my content, utilize parts of my content, which is very interesting. But it is what it is, man. I just realized, dude, the bottom line is find your niche, stick with it, and focus on it. Just make the best out of it.
Okay, okay. So now we gonna get a little we're gonna get a little spicy, man. So
Okay.
how do you feel about how do you feel about the infiltration of the black manosphere?
You call it infiltration?
Well, I'm just using the
Let, let,
terminology that's being used out there.
let's not use infiltration. Infiltration sounds complex. Before I speak, let me just read this out. Don Calypso, shout out to Don Calypso because he wrote me a nice little disclaimer that I should read out. That's very important. That the views expressed by LOADKAST does not represent Sleep Stay Sheep television program, I mean YouTube channel. And anybody who gets upset with it, please purchase yourself some Preparation H for your butt hurt. And if you intend, I'm gonna leave it like that. But let me say this here: it's not infiltration. It's just people who talk too much. I know some people don't want to believe that, but what you start to realize that, dude, everybody here knows somebody who know you and who's talking to you, and it's all online. People, I'm pretty sure everybody out here has an online relationship. If you're a content creator, you probably got relationships with other people, right? Hello?
No, I'm here. Yeah, you absolutely right. I definitely do.
And the thing is, sometimes, you never met this person face to face. You never seen their face. You might have seen them in videos, but you never really actually had physical contact with them. So, it's kind of easy for some people to be a little bit more liberal and carefree about what you disclose to them because they never really had that direct contact, that direct bond with you, where they got to touch you for a moment or breathe the same air with you, so to speak. So you don't really have that normal bond that we still utilize to this day. But what I really suspect this is all is the classic telephone game. You know, I'll tell you something, then you go back. I tell you some things about me, and then that person got friends, and they sharing information or bragging about how they know you, and you got in between a few real scammers, legitimate information hogs, so to speak. Who are just kind of cramming what you say and what everybody else is saying, and putting two and two together. Um, I realize that a lot of times people may not pay attention, but you give little clues about yourself in your videos, how you pronounce words. Did I say how some people breathe in their video? How people breathe on the microphones or when they're speaking. These things are dead giveaways to other people who may be familiar with certain characteristics that you give off. And some people are putting two and two together that sometimes people are not all who they say they are. Or sometimes, for example, some people may feel confident some guy may feel confident talking to another woman. Talking to a woman, and he might be, yeah, baby, well, I also got something over here too that I'm doing. Well, check that out. That's you? Yeah, that's me, baby. Oh, you look so cute. And then next minute she done shared it with somebody else, and eventually it might get to somebody who really might want to use it for malicious intent, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And there you go. All your shit is out there, and you trying to pretend like you don't really know how they found out, and you're making the person look more mysterious than what they really are.
Mm-hmm.
It's just people who are just sharing information. So if you ever wonder how, I said Kenneth might be getting this stuff, he ain't working too goddamn hard. There's
Right.
people just leaking information to him because you talking too much. And then your friends are talking too much. Other content creators are talking to other people, and it just makes its rounds around. It makes its way around. Everybody has a digital footprint.
Right, right. So
And most of the time, what you end up doing is giving clues, and people end up putting two and two together and giving people ideas of where to look. This is not really infiltration.
okay, okay. So do you think do you think the big three? Do you think that they're do you think their relationship is really genuine, or were they just trying to keep it all together for the public?
I don't think anybody's keeping anything together for the public at this point. Um, from the way I see it, is like this here. I know I go around telling people it's fake, it's fake. It's not really. It's not really what you think it is. In a crazy way, it isn't. It's just people doing what they normally do, but they also know that they also have this thing called an online persona, and they're just using it to their best advantage. And some people, they slip up, and people start to notice the flaws. You know, you got other people who are just getting together, do collaborations, realize that, hey, I can still I can do something with you. But then, everybody kind of move differently. Not everybody's like you or like me, so to speak. Or, I'm pretty sure you've talked to content creators out here who are just plain little bitches, you know, who are just straight little bitches. And I mean, they might walk around with a penis, but they pussy. And it shows sometimes when they're on panels. And I'm not talking about none of the brothers. I'm not talking about anybody specific, but you know, they kind of show themselves. Or, they click up with a crew of people and they be the only ones leaking syrup all over their damn channels.
Mm-hmm.
That type of stuff happens. So, and these be the type of people who sometimes folk, they be doing the most talking. And then, they might, somebody else find them, they might be, dare I say it, singing on their live streams, and girls might come to them, talk to them. They think they serenading women, girls and stuff. And some of them bitches just be talking to other people. And you telling them little things and about what's going on over here, and people just start putting clues together. Two and two together, because everybody talking to each other. That's really what's happening. Everybody's sharing with each other, and all it does is make the right pathways to the right people. That kind of makes sense to you?
Yeah, it does. It does. It makes a whole hell of a lot of sense.
I
And
mean, to me, infiltration DS1, that's like me befriending you to get information from you. That some people will, I guess some people are doing that, but I don't think it's on the scale that most people want to believe.
okay.
It's just motherfuckers talking too goddamn much. And yeah, I will. I have to walk that back now. How do I think about it a little bit more? Is that, yeah, it makes it easy for some people to be able to infiltrate. Those with a malicious intent. But some of this stuff just people talking too goddamn much and befriending the wrong type of people and not being careful about what it is that they're doing and saying out here.
So what is your opinion on the current state of the black manosphere?
Now that I see what's happening, I mean, come on, man. I mean, did you see Angry Man's
Yeah,
press release, so to speak?
yeah.
Right. And he
Mm-hmm.
said that the manosphere is dead, and there's only the Black Order or something to that nature.
Right.
After today's events, what do you think that really looks like now?
I mean, like I said in my stream I done in my video, I feel like the Black Order was they would have the driving force behind the black manosphere. I feel like people respected it in black YouTube because of the Black Order, because of Angry Man. You know, that's what I feel. You know, I feel like a lot of that.
Okay, but when you see things like, when you now seeing that Cerulean is being made a spectacle of, and you see BGS has been exposed supposedly, and other people being exposed. What do you think that does to the psyche of individuals, to some of the other people who are watching? I mean, in a crazy way, it kind of takes away that aura, that awesomeness to them sometimes. You know what I mean? And it puts them right square down to just being a regular, flat, normal person.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
You know,
Definitely.
I mean, in a crazy way, I think that's better. For me, it's better because at least now I can see for myself that maybe my shit wasn't as bad as I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Or or or,
Hmm.
or maybe I'm more select than you, so to speak, and I'm not throwing punches at nobody. But I think what this really has shown is that the truth of the matter is that people sometimes portray themselves as people who they would like to be in real life, and not who they really are actually.
Right, right,
You know,
right. And to I agree with that because I feel like what I feel like the problem is too is I feel like a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on certain people. You know, they give these people these accolades, man.
right,
I feel like what people should do is just take people for who they are. And if they bring good information, just accept them that way. Stop idolizing them and putting them on a pedestal because when you find out, when there's a chance for you to find out what's what they're really about, or you may get a glimpse on their real life and you may find out some things that may surprise you or you may not like, then that's going to change the way you look at them. When at the beginning, if you wouldn't have never put them on a pedestal, when you find out certain shit, it wouldn't shock you. It wouldn't make you say, oh, well, this person is a fraud and this, that, and the third. Because it's, if you holding a person in high self-esteem, that's just like the Chris Brown situation with celebrities, period. A lot of people hold these people in high regard. So when they do shit that you wouldn't expect them to do or say things you don't expect them to say, you like, oh, who said you could say that? Or why would you say that? What do you mean? Why would they say that? Why can't they say that? Why can't they do things like that? What would make
right.
you think that they're above doing these things or above, living this type of way? And I think that's the problem too, man. A lot of people just gotta, understand that these people are still people at the end of the day.
Exactly, exactly. And I don't want to hurt. Like I said, I didn't. I'm trying my best to be the real person. Try to be as authentic as possible out here in social media. And I personally feel like these are the type of conversations we need to start having more so. And I think what has happened is that I think what's really happened is that now the manosphere, no matter what anybody says, you can't kill the manosphere. You're gonna have to kill black men to get rid of it. Because as long as men get together, there's your manosphere. It's not all of this stuff that everybody want to make it. You know, and I and you know and I do believe that it does need some type of standardization to it. You know, where if you're gonna come out on the platforms and stuff, I do believe that some people need to be as authentic and other people can validate for that person and not just throw them on a panel because they make good content or they're good for my analytics at the moment. No, see, the black community itself has always been, I know people like to say a matriarchy, but it's always been attached to as much entertainment as possible. I mean, most of us have grown up off of entertainment. We've learned our lives in some form or fashion from entertainment. And, and I do believe that it's time for us to really take a moment and really look at who we really are. And I think that's really what we can all take away from all of these events that have happened over the last 6 months. It started with with Cynthia G and Nyla and Taz and all the kind of stuff. You realize that, dude, these just regular people who are just these are people who are just trying to do the best they can to survive in life, just like everybody else. Some of them just do it better than others. And I think this is time for us to take off the bullshit veils that we've always put on. I mean, come on, man. I mean, you got black folk who go to work, make $40,000-$50,000 a year, but buys a car worth $50,000. Now, you know good and well, truly, you cannot afford that damn car, even though you can make the payments on time every month. But you're riding around in a $50,000 car. You buying stuff that you really can't afford, but because you can make the payment, you obtain it. You know what I'm saying? I want you to think about this. Yeah, I like to use a simple analogy when I go to purchase vehicles. If my car costs me $26,000, right? And whatever payment plan they put me on, whatever plan I choose, whatever how many years it's going to take me a month to take to pay off. If you add that up, you might find out that you actually lost about a year's worth of salary, and you promised to pay off maybe a portion of your salary with an amount of you paid. You may realize that you're paying off maybe sometimes half of your salary, if not all your salary, over so many years. You've given away a large portion of your money. You know, and most of the time we do this to make ourselves feel good. It's the same thing what you see guys been doing on his social media. The reason why they argue and fuss and diss each other, because it makes them feel good. It makes them. It's funny because, you know, we look at it just passing by views, but also you got people out here who are addicted to they're addicted to the adrenaline or that what they call it, that dopamine that the brain gives off because of the satisfaction they get from feeling better than another person.
Right.
You know, it's no different. You know, and like I said, the bottom line is the black community needs to be more realistic about itself. And everybody out here is just another person in the black community. And the only difference is you got people who are hiding behind avatars. You know, and that's another thing I noticed too. It's funny because I was talking to last night I was on the Black Brain Trust, and shout out to Mike V and everybody, Lionel and Dollar Will and Complex, and you know everybody who checks out the Manosphere. I mean, excuse me, the Black Brain Trust. But while we were having this discussion, I started looking at everybody's avatars, and I noticed that like people like Gabe, Mike V, Triple X were like the only people who really had pictures of themselves up. Now, other people I've seen in the background, I got an idea what they look like. But when I looked at my photo, it kind of made me smirk, and I started kind of like smirking to myself because I could see what I was doing. It's like I could relate to my avatar because I'm like, okay, it's a picture of me, but it's shadow. It's shaded, you know. And as I was looking at everybody else, I'm looking at how they communicate, how they talk, and I'm like, okay, these guys who are showing their photos are confident about themselves. They're secure about themselves. But I'm looking at everybody else who doesn't have these avatars up. They may not be so confident about themselves as others. Now, I can't speak for everybody, but I personally don't have a problem showing myself. But this is like the thing I like to do. But at the same time, I don't want to be so just blatantly obvious and bold about me presenting myself to the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is like my way of just doing it. But I thought about it for a while. And I thought about even the insecurity of me putting this up because originally when I did do it the first time, it was a sign of insecurity. You know, because I was like, I ain't finna show my face and embarrass myself.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
Really?
So later on, you know, I kind of after a while I was like, dude, I'm really not that afraid to show myself. But it was like, you know, I'm just gonna keep doing this because it was working for me. It was like it was attractive to some people to see it, you know. So I just continued to do it. But in the moment, back to what I was trying to say, but the point that it kind of showed me was that people have insecurities. And there are some people who are confident with themselves. But I will say there's the people who are confident with themselves. Be careful because sometimes people, the man next to you may not be as secure as you.
Mm. So, to piggyback off what you're talking about right now, so you're saying that a lot of the people who just have avatars up or who've never shown themselves.
Okay, well, I want to say something. I got Mike Brown who's saying, you hating right now at this very moment, Brandon C. Just like you say, LOADKAST is very hypocritical, dog. Um, I'm not a hypocritical person. Let me just back up. I try my best to present myself and be as honest as possible. But like some people, I do change. I do change. I do change my ideas and my perspectives. It does happen because just like anybody else who wants to be open and honest, you got to be open and honest for making changes and correcting yourself when you know you're wrong. That's all I got to say about it.
Okay, so back to the question. So, do you think that most people who don't decide to show themselves or actually put a picture of how they look currently, do you think that's a insecurity thing?
Say that again.
I said the people who decides to not ever show themselves or even put a current picture up of themselves. Are you saying that that's a sign of insecurity?
That, to answer that question, that can be, you know, that can be. Sometimes people put up pictures that are 10 or 15 years old, you know, of who they used to look like. You can't say it's not them, but it's just not them recent. You know what I'm saying? Am I answering your question?
Right, right.
Or some people may just, or dare I say it, as some people say, I prefer that picture because they're not happy with who they are now.
Okay, okay.
You know?
So, what is your overall solution for all of this? For all of this shit, because like I said, I said it was gonna be a war. Um, People are saying that it's not a war. What do you think? What do you think is gonna happen? What do you think is gonna come out at the end of all this?
Based on, okay, now listen, this is not an overall uh, prediction. This prediction is subject to change, but right now, if everybody stopped, if everybody stopped, everybody would just go back to being normal. Everybody, Nyla would probably be over. Nobody would have a problem with Nyla, Taz, or anybody. It wouldn't be the supposed uh, drawn borders right now. There's no reason for it because all sides have proven that everybody has some type of flaw to them. That's what it shows. Also, what it shows is that I don't mean no disrespect to Angry Man, but it just goes to show that sometimes, when you call yourself the order, it sounds like you got a strategic, well thought out, well organized body of people. You can call a machine. But even there, the more people start to talk, the more people, you don't even have to expose. The more people start talking, the more people start saying stuff and doing ridiculous stuff, you start to expose just how childish you really are. And that's enough for an audience to just walk away. So I would say that based on today's events, I would say that nobody has no reason for firing another shot. As far as I'm concerned, the war is over. It's bullshit. But if somebody else throws another damn blow, you a goddamn fool because you're gonna be calling yourself out.
Interesting. Interesting. Now, why do you why do you think it's an issue with the Black Order? Like,
Well,
do you think?
I'm gonna say it this way: is because it's like this here for me. I picked a side, but I picked a side a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with BGS. I'm still cool with BGS. I'm cool with everybody, you know, Cerulean, everybody who they associate with. Those are the people who embrace me. And I can't let, you know, and the way I look at it, I'm not going to say, I can't let the team down. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that those were the people who were willing to put me on when I didn't have anybody. So the best thing I could do is return the favor by being respectful and being appreciative. But I've always had my own mind and my own voice for this shit. But I did make, like I said, but out of respect and appreciation for those, I'm loyal to that. I'm cool with that. So as far as I'm concerned, if they were like, hey, we don't want nobody on the panels, I encourage nobody to go on those panels. You know, nobody has to tell me that. It's just the fact of the matter is that is the team that was the team that I play for, because those are the people who support me. Make sense to you?
Totally.
Now that's what loyalty is supposed to come into play with black people. But like even today when you hear what's the other guy? You know, you got people arguing and fussing, and you got brothers want to trot across town, like, hey, what's up? And you're like, nigga, did you not hear that nobody is, you know, stay on whatever side you on and just stay there and leave this shit alone? Well, you can't tell me what to do. And you realize, dude, this is really what happens in the black community. The same shit you see happen online is the same shit happen in the black community. Same identical shit. You know, nobody gonna tell me what to do. I'm a grown man. And grown men get fit. Grown men fall in the dirt all the time too. Get buried early too. You know, and that was the same thing. It's like, dude, just go back over there. Go hang out with the people who you cool with, who you are family with or really, really close with. Stay over there and don't come over here, because over here people are a little bit more on alert than what they are over there. You know?
How do you feel about people who feel like they don't have to choose a side? How do you feel about those people?
Those are the fools. Those are the fools. See, again, it goes back to what I was saying before. It's not about, see, people want to feel like they can be neutral. You a damn fool for being fucking neutral. You can't get into heaven while straddling the fence between the rift between heaven and hell. You can't go nowhere. But you're supposed to go somewhere. You can't stay in the abyss forever. Fools stay in the abyss. That's the limbo. You go nowhere. And going nowhere gets pretty fucking boring after a long time. Would you agree?
Sure do.
And the problem with brothers is that nobody wants to be right. Nobody wants to be wrong. Understand that, dude, in life is either you're going to win or you're going to lose. It's either you win or you lose. It's not about, well, I'm going to stay out of, no, nigga, you can't stay out of shit sometimes. You pick your motherfucking side, which, like I said, the people who support me the most is BGS. Dare I say it? Maybe I would say this, the majority of everybody that BGS rolls with embraces me with no damn problem. So I have to roll with that side. Even though I don't like what the fuck going on, that is still the side that I have to play for, because those are the people that back me up. You can't get a little backing from here, a little backing from there, because eventually you're going to run out of cash by straddling the fence. You know, and that's been the problem with a lot of people out here in the black community. I don't want nothing to do with it. No, you pick a motherfucking side and roll with the side. And if you seem like the side is losing or you losing some game, you need to put your damn sweat equity into the game. And that's something black folk don't want to do. Nobody wants to do nothing. Nobody wants to put the sweat or put the blood into it, sacrifice their blood or invest sweat. They don't want to, which is a sign of fearfulness. And I'm gonna be honest with you, cowards do all kind of shit to survive.
Right. Like play both sides.
They will play both sides if they have to, because you are not loyal to anything. You see the confusion that a person in the middle finds themselves. You have no fucking loyalty. You ain't shit if you ain't got loyalty to something. If you're not committed to something, you ain't shit. That's why I tell people, listen, people say I ain't down with religion, or I ain't down with God, or I don't believe in the devil. God told you, look, either you're gonna be hot or cold. Either you're gonna follow this, or you're gonna go over there and do what the fuck you want to do. You can't play the middle. It's a reason. It's like they tell you, you can't serve two masters, because you're gonna love one or hate the other. There's a reason for that. It's logical when you think about it. You ever had two women at the same time? Okay, well, since you don't want to answer, I done had two women at the same time. One of them may do more for you than the other. One of you gonna gravitate to, and the other one may start to resent you. For you as that person, you in limbo, but somebody's gonna cut your fucking head off or do harm to you while you straddling the fence, because you right there in the middle. You see what I'm saying? You can't play both sides. It's not in your best interest as a human being. Pick a side and roll with it.
I mean, I totally agree. You know, I feel like most people who do that is just loyal to themselves. That's all.
That's all it is.
They
That's really
just
all it
trying to
is.
say their own ass. That's all. Because they know they got some type of involvement on one side, and they don't want another side to expose that. They just trying to save their own ass. That's how I look at it.
But most of the time, these people usually find themselves becoming agents. They usually find themselves becoming agents. I'm gonna be real with you. Throughout history, agents always die. They don't really live long. Sometimes those disappearances where they left the country, no, they were just buried somewhere. It's like the same thing with the black community. Yeah, you get some folk who are so goddamn confused. You ain't good for nobody. Yeah. And let me say this for a minute. Hey, guys, 20 people watching. We got 24 likes. Can everybody please hit that like button? Show your support for DS1. Brother Rob, I hate to hijack your show, man, but I need to practice. Shout out to Brother Rob for donating $10. He says, I am with black folk. I can't be neutral on a moving train. I agree. I see other people throwing up the fire signs. I really appreciate everybody for doing it. Mike, thank you so much for your support. Nene baby, thank you for being here tonight, sweetheart. Appreciate you. Poetic Kills, nice to see you again. Gab Talk Media, what's going on, bro? What's going on? What else?
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate that, bro. I ain't even see that. Shout out to my brother Rob for the donation. Shout out to everybody, man.
But the bottom line is, dude, you know, it's this time I think is, like I said again, I think this is a part where me, you, Reg, and everybody else, you know, this is an opportunity for us, and I think we should take it. I mean, there's a lot of real estate being left down on the ground. We need to just put our damn feet down on it and clean that shit.
Interesting. Expound on
I'm
that.
just saying, take what the fuck you can get about this shit, because niggas dropped a whole lot of shit on the ground. Pick it up.
I got you. I got you, man. So, one more question, man. I ain't gonna keep you too much longer. What are some things that you do outside of YouTube? Like, because I know you probably usually YouTube as a hobby. So, what are some other things you do outside?
It really is. It's really a time passer for me. Most of the time, man, my life consists of going to work. I got family. You know, I got family members who I go spend time with. I got a grandmother who I go spend time with. Me and her sit down and watch Netflix sometimes. Usually I cook for myself for the most part. No, I am single. No, I'm not an incel. I'm more of just, look, I'm happy with who I am, and I don't like being bothered for the most part. You know, even though I will say this much is that it gets pretty boring sometimes. So I guess that's where the YouTube part really comes into play.
Gotcha.
No, oh yeah, I do go to the gym. So now I feel a little bit more confident in myself that I can go ahead and drop these other little 20 pounds off of me, and I look skinny in the motherfucker. I'm gonna start. Hey, you know what I think gonna happen in the future?
What's that?
I want what's that girl name? Akasha. What's her name? What she go by?
Soul alchemy.
Yeah. So I'd be like, Lil Cass, I think you should reveal yourself. You need to show yourself on the camera. I'm just joking. Nah, but shout out to Soul Alchemy. That's another sister who I do like too, man.
No
But
doubt. Shout out.
you know, but you know, it's nothing wrong with being single. But I will say this that some of us need to be more realistic about shit and stop just trying to articulate stuff and start telling people, look, man. First off, black people, black women, y'all need to start having kids. If you ain't got no damn kids, you need to find yourself a guy. Get off the bullshit. This is the conversation brothers need to start having with sisters. Look, get off the bullshit. Most of your brothers ain't making the kind of money that y'all dreaming about. But it don't mean you can't raise a family and produce men of the caliber that you dream about. See, the problem is black folk unconsciously have been strip mining the black community for a long time. I mean, you see it right here on YouTube. You take, you don't give shit back. You know? And now there ain't shit really there to take. But yet people are still finding a way to scratch up and scrape up something to take. That's not healthy. But not giving something back.
That's
And
why
this is
we
really
always playing from behind.
and you know, and again, you know, why everybody's laughing and joking. Like I tell people, black folk, you got to get real. You barely got 30 years left projected for y'all to even be a species in this country. And I know some niggas love to say that stupid shit. Well, you know, I'm putting the human race. No, when you say species, you're talking about a distinctive group, a distinctive strand of a person or of a being. And I think those are conversations we really need to start having. And then I do it when tell brothers, listen, if a sister pick you up and you raggedy as fuck, kiss her ass. But you don't raise your boys to kiss ass. I know it sounds kind of chumpish to say that, but I'm just being honest with you. If she willing to pick your broke ass up, at least wash the goddamn dishes and keep the shit 100. Because some of these women do not want to be single. And some are willing to pay for it. But at least give her a return back on her investment. That's just fair exchange. Wouldn't you agree?
Definitely.
All right.
Especially if you're a decent individual, you know, you're a decent person, man, and you know, you just don't have it in certain areas. You find other ways to show your appreciation. You know, you find other ways to give.
But you know what you call that, man? That's called a relationship. A relationship ain't always what people think of the relation. The best relationship, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna ever find is a relationship that works for you. That's the perfect relationship. You know, it's funny, like when you listen to people talk about Cerulean. I mean, not Cerulean. What's his name? What's that guy name? The one with the bad leg.
Peg leg Willie.
Nah, Obsidian. Like for example, you know, it's funny when you hear him talk about begging somebody, about betting somebody on the couch. But if he finds a good relationship that works for him, he'll be all right. You feel me?
I agree. You
And
know,
I don't think I'm just asking black folk to do. Just get real. In fact, let's stop with the name calling. His name is Obsidian, and he just so happened to have a bad leg.
right.
Respect. We got to put that respect back in the game, man. That's what the manosphere is supposed to be about.
Nah, I mean, absolutely. If you still, if you know, whoever still subscribe to it, I agree. You know,
All right.
definitely. So this was a great way, man, to wrap it up, man. I appreciate you. Not gonna keep you too much longer, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. You know, shout out to everybody that's tuned in. You know, shout out to everybody who donated tonight. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like button for me, family. Hit the like button, and all the donation links is in the chat room and in the description box. Also, check out the merchandise. It's in the description box. Also, shout out to my man LOADKAST. This was Real Spill, episode 9. Pardon me, episode 9. Right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. You would like to be on the next episode? Email me, dsalliance1@gmail.com. That's dsalliance1@gmail.com. If you would like to be on the next episode of Real Spill. Shout out to everybody once again. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Sheep Stay Sleep TV. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.